Hello everyone, welcome back to the Osteoenthusiast YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking through what to do when you are experiencing a rib head injury. So how can this injury be caused? So it's very similar to what we spoke about with an intercostal muscle strain, with the costochondritis. It's normally some kind of twisting, rotational, repetitive movement that's aggravating through the rib cage, because what we're looking at with this specific injury, instead of being around the front here and to the side, it's where your rib attaches into the spine around the back. So what it can appear like is very, very sharp and specific into that rib head as it attaches into the spine. Looking at the costotransverse and costovertebral joints as they attach together can become inflamed, giving quite specific localized pain. In addition to that, it can then refer round into the rib. So it's very common if, for example, we've got an intercostal muscle strain, that we might have a rib head dysfunction as well. So what are the do's and don'ts of a rib head dysfunction? Do first of all get it assessed, because initially, yes, okay, it's slightly different to the other injuries where it's very specific, normally triggered on mechanical movements. We want to rule out any other insidious referrals. So for example, if we're thinking like the gallbladder or any of the organs around that area, it's very common they create something called a viscosomatic reflex, whereby if we've got pain or dysfunction in those organs, they can refer pain into the back. So this is why it's really important to have this assessed to make sure that it is a rib injury, getting it assessed by your GP. Once you've done that and you've had that ruled out, the second do is get it assessed by a musculoskeletal expert. Like I was saying earlier, you know, lots of stuff can be triggered together. So we might be aggravating into the rib head, but we could have injury into the intercostal muscles, around the front, overall neck, shoulder, upper back mechanics, could be aggravating this pain or making it worse. The third do is start to get it moving. So once you've had it assessed, we want to get the upper back moving. We want to be stretching into the ribs, stretching through the chest in order to get that optimal movement to take the pressure off the rib head. And this is where, in addition to the movement, the treatment can be really, really helpful. So what are some of the don'ts? Don't add in the activities that are aggravating the pain. So it's very common if we've done anything repetitively where we're dropping forward and twisting, or we've turned to lift something, or if you have quite a physical job, that might be something that you do day to day. We want to try and avoid or at least limit the amount of pressure going through that area. So if you have had an injury, we need to allow that time to recover. And like we said earlier, you know, treatment and movement to open up through. The second don't is don't leave it. So what can happen if the pain is lingering is the body's very good at compensating. So think if you're getting a stabby sharp pain around the back, what are you going to do? You're going to adapt how you're holding yourself, how you're moving, and that can actually predispose other issues elsewhere in the body, like a chain reaction. You might be coping with the pain, taking painkillers, and actually other stuff's going on. So what we'd recommend is get it assessed as soon as possible, find the right diagnosis for you, rule out any issues, get it moving, hands-on treatment if relevant for you, and seek expert advice.